Hey guys, so I'm here to tell you about private labeling and how you can do it yourself real quick, real easy, real cheap. Keep watching. Okay, so private labeling is when you go ahead and you put, your brand's logo, your tags, all of that good stuff on your product. So you may have a t-shirt, let's say you buy a Hanes or a Gildan t-shirt and you wanna do your own thing to it, but then you want to go ahead and sell it for your company. You're going to want to put your company's logo on there. You do not want to sell things that have another brand on it. It just looks a little, not shady, but it doesn't look as professional. So I'm going to show you guys what I used to have and what I have now and how you can do it yourself. So this is how I used to do my old private labeling. I used to make these little satin tags, nothing special, just a little tag with my logo on it, but your girl is moving up in the world, humble brag. So we've kind of changed things up a little bit. So let me show you what we're doing now. I started making my own tagless heat transfer labels, tags, whatever you want to call them. These are great for like babies' clothes, which I sell because you don't want anything that's going to be scratching their back or anything like that. So let me show you how we make them and what the final product looks like. I already have my logo. So I create all of my stuff in Keynote. So I have my logo here that I use for my heat transfer vinyls. So this is the logo that I print on my satin bonnets, t-shirts, everything like that. So we have this in Keynote. So what I already did was save it as a PNG file. So what you do is you go to File, Export, Images, and you select just this slide. So this is slide number 12 that I have because I created a whole bunch of stuff inside of this document. So this is slide number 12. So I did from page 12 to 12, and you save it as a PNG. Once you press next, you're going to name it, and it's going to save it as a folder. So I already have mine. I saved it as my Style and Grace heat transfer vinyl tag. Then you would just press export. So I already did that. So I use the Silhouette machine. So I'm going to go to my Silhouette Studio app. And what I did was I'm going to create a new document so you guys can see. I'm going to open up my Style and Grace heat transfer tag folder, and this is the file. I'm going to press OK. And now you can see that it has it imported into the Silhouette document. So now I'm going to stretch this and make it big just so I can see a little better. We're going to come over here to the thing that looks like a piece of toast. That's going to allow us to trace our logo. So we're going to select this option right here which says select trace area. Click that, and we're going to make a box around our logo. Once you do that, you're going to press trace, and that's going to allow you to drag out the original logo, and I'm just going to put that over to the side. So once you have that, you're going to make it smaller depending on how big you want your tag. So this says this is 4.9 inches in height and 6.3 inches in width. I definitely don't want mine that big. Since we're making our private labeling tags, we're going to make it smaller. So I'm just going to drag this and make it smaller. So let's say I wanted my tag to be 1.9 inches by basically 2.5 inches. So those are the dimensions that I have right now. So I'm gonna drag this up to the corner, and to make it a little easier when you go to pluck out your heat transfer once it's cut out, you want to put a box around it. So I'm going to trace a box around my icon. So you have that there. So now I'm going to go back to my original document that I was using, and this is what makes sense when you're doing your heat transfer tags. You want to put a couple of them on one page, so that's what I'm in the process of doing right now. I grouped my square outline and my logo together. So now I'm just going through and copy and pasting that throughout this entire document. And I'm just placing them next to each other. Okay, so you may look at this and say, girl, you're missing a couple of squares over there in the bottom left corner. Well, I didn't put any logos down there because I'm not the best when it comes to cutting in straight lines. So the vinyl that I cut out, it had like a diagonal line in it. I'm going to show that to you guys. I'm going to insert a clip here so that you can see why I didn't paste any logos right there. So that's the only reason why. But as long as you have your vinyl, say you just want to make a sheet of your heat transfer iron-on logos, so that you won't have to constantly keep making them, you're just going to cut out a whole 12 by 12 sheet of vinyl and stick it right onto your sticky mat. So you know, of course mine didn't cover the entire 12 by 12, so that's why I left out some of the logos right here. But as long as you have the complete 12 by 12 vinyl on the sticky mat, you can paste your logo throughout the entire thing, okay? And I don't have any down here because, as you can see, a logo this size just would not fit there. So you know, I have this whole missing piece here, so we're gonna take our sticky mat up to our silhouette cutter. We're gonna load it in, and then we're gonna get cutting. Okay, so real quick, usually with heat transfer vinyl, you have two sides. You have a side that feels a little more like ashy, listen to it, and then you have a side that is a little more smooth. You see, it doesn't make that ashy sound as this side does. So this is what you're gonna do. Sorry about the lighting, but when you go to put your heat transfer vinyl onto your sticky mat, you're going to leave the ashy side down and the smooth side up, okay? You wanna feel the smooth side once you have it placed onto your sticky mat. Got it? So ashy side gets put on the sticky part. Smooth baby side you want to feel with your hand, okay? Okay, so we have our machine turned on, and it has the options for load and unload. So of course we're going to be loading this in. You're going to make sure you line the edge of your sticky mat up with this line right here. You want them to be kind of flush with each other. You also want to make sure that top edge is lined up with that metal bar. And we're going to press load. Okay, so of course all of these steps are important, but this is very important, very, very, very important. So definitely pay attention to this part. So now that we have our document complete, we're gonna press send, and we're gonna send this to our printer. It's loading. Okay, so now that that's all loaded, you're going to see that the lines got a little bit of a dark red. You want to be careful with that, because sometimes this could mean that when you go to actually cut the you know, your graphic out, it's not going to cut right because the font is too thin. But in this case I have a bold font, so, and I tested it already, so I know that it's gonna be fine. So you're going to choose your option. So we have the heat transfer and we have the smooth heat transfer. I do 2 passes with my blade because we need a new one. The blade is not that sharp right now, so I do 2 passes, and mine is connected to Bluetooth, so you can see that my silhouette machine is ready. So what we're going to do is press send, and that's going to send it to our silhouette printer. This is very important. Since you are doing a heat transfer iron on, you want to send it as mirrored. Make sure you press send mirrored and not send as is. This is very, very important. So we're going to go ahead and click that, and it's getting ready to send it to the printer. Unload. This is something you do not want to do. Make sure it is cut completely. You see how it started to pull the vinyl? Make sure you cut it out all the way. I find this part so satisfying to watch, but you want to make sure that you're being careful when you're going and you're pulling the vinyl apart. You don't want to do it too fast. You don't want to be too rough because you can end up pulling the part that you need to stay on off. So make sure you're being careful. You do not want to pull anything off. You see how I had to hold down one of my symbols? Be careful. I believe this process is called tweeting, where we're going ahead and we're pulling off the stuff that we don't need. So as you can see right here, I needed to grab the little tweeting tweezers to get out these little tiny pieces. You want to make sure you get off. You see that little tiny black speck? I had to get that off so that our design could be flawless. So you're gonna go ahead and stick your tagless tag onto your garment, and you want to put some type of fabric over it so that the heat isn't directly on the plastic part, and you're just gonna go over that for maybe about 30 seconds or so with your iron. No steam on the cotton setting. Go ahead and pull that bad boy off, and voila, you have your heat transfer vinyl tag, tagless tag, no itchy tag, whatever you want to call it, your private labeling. It's all done. You just go ahead and iron over that one more time, covered by some type of fabric, of course, and it's all sealed in. Perfect. So on our jean jacket, I just want to note that it did print the correct way. I filmed my outro on my phone on my front camera, so everything is reversed, but everything was printed the correct way. This is what we're working with. The very professional, clean, and it just looks amazing compared to what we used to have on our clothes, okay? Check that out. Check it out, check it out, check it out. And when it comes to our bonnets, let me flip it inside out so you can see. Okay, yes, that's the white. And we also have the black, because we don't want to print white on white, but here it is in black. Yes, okay, so you guys see, you know, how much more professional it looks. It looks very clean, very nice, right? Compared to our old tag. So thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate it. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for giving me the time to explain and show you guys how I did this process. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. Keep checking in for another video, and I'll see you next time.